I'm Sofi. I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today I will continue reading from The Promise, the biography of my Guru, His Eminence, the 25th Sam Tuko Rinpoche. So let me go to that scene, the page. And this will be the page that we'll be reading from, page 49. However, there were some moments of respite. Rinpoche's grandmother, Queen Dechen, loved him very much and visited him from time to time, often bringing toys, clothes, or candy. He would know when she was about to arrive because he would be washed and dressed in nice clothes, and the toys that she had previously given him would be brought out. The Queen was unaware of all her gifts would be denied to him and were either stored away after her departure or given to his foster brothers instead. The only brief beacon of happiness in the young Rinpoche's life was the kindness of a beautiful young lady named Kwan Mama, who would visit him and often take him out to the hot springs in the surrounding countryside of Taipei with her brothers. They brought him toys and clothes and even bathed the young Rinpoche as they noticed that he was not well looked after and lacked even the most basic human care at home. You can see from the caption on the picture that Si Mama's family was Rinpoche's first experience at home, and he had thought of them as his real family. It was only much later that he found out that Si Mama was a foster mother and had been paid $50 USD in a month to take care of him. Right. So Kwan Mama met Rinpoche when he was about 3 or 4 years old and only knew him for a few months. She shared that Rinpoche's nickname then was Xiao Niu, which means little bull in Mandarin, as he was a strong, friendly, and likable boy. While he was shy and initially afraid of strangers, Xiao Niu was very mischievous and liked to run around and play tricks. Due to this natural, cheerful disposition, no one realized that he was abused at home. He was also very smart and had a good memory. Kwan Mama brought Xiao Niu to stay with her for a while before she was told that he was going to live with another foster family in America. Since Kwan Mama thought that Xiao Niu was leaving, she took some photos to commemorate the special relationship they shared. These precious photos are now the only records of this period in the young Rinpoche's life. After taking the photos, Kwan Mama was given the impression that Rinpoche would soon leave Taiwan. Si Mama never contacted her again, and so she never knew that Rinpoche continued living with Si Mama until he was 6 years old. Things might have been brighter and happier for the young Rinpoche if Kwan Mama had known he was still in Taiwan. One day, when Rinpoche was 6 years old, Queen Dechen came to Si Mama's home to pick him up. The Queen said that she was going to take him to see his real parents. This was quite confusing for the young boy, who had already thought that Si Mama's family was his real family. Queen Dechen then took the young Rinpoche to the United States of America, where he was about to begin a new life. Here you see the picture on the left, the caption. Kwan Mama was a classmate of Dewa Nimbo and who had explicitly asked her to watch over the young boy. However, Dewa never told Kwan Mama that Rinpoche was her son, and Kwan Mama only found this out in 1997 when she realized that Rinpoche was her friend's son. Kwan Mama was quite upset that she had not done more for Rinpoche. She said that she would have gladly adopted him as she had been very fond of him. And the picture on the right, the caption, I was the kid Mr. Kwan scrubbed and cleaned. I was the kid who used to ride on his shoulders. I was that little neglected child that he showed love to. Thank you, Mr. Kwan, for being so kind to a child who needed parents he didn't have. This child is now grown up and he will never forget you. And Miss Kwan's kindness. I will remember you both always by showing kindness to others. Your kindness is not wasted on me, I promise. Sam Rinpoche. Page 51. I would have loved to have gone to the monastery at a young age. Instead, I was shipped to America. I was very unhappy there even at a young age. I knew when I was older I would travel and live in distant lands. I did not know where, but when I was young, very young, I always felt that it would be somewhere in the east. Sam Rinpoche. Page 52, the picture on the left, the caption, Rinpoche united with Kwan Mama during a visit to Taiwan in 2008. And the picture on the right, Queen Dechen with Rinpoche. This meeting in Taipei in 1996 was the last time Rinpoche saw his grandmother before she passed away. And here are some pictures of Rinpoche's childhood. And the picture in the middle where Rinpoche is with Kwan Mama. And at the bottom right, that is Rinpoche's mother, Deva Nimbo. And here on page 54, more pictures. And that is Mr. Kwan with Rinpoche on the bottom left. As you can see, all his pictures, he has smiles on his face. And now, this is chapter 2, The American Dream. Howell, New Jersey, 1972 to 1982. There's a caption there. I am Kalmyk Mongol Tibetan. I have an identity which is deeply rooted in the religious doctrine my forefathers brought to America. I needed to search into my roots, my religion, and who I was. I started by studying as a young boy in Rashi Gempeling. There's a picture, the caption, Boris and Dana Bugayev, Rinpoche's adoptive parents, were held in high regard within the Mongolian Kalmyk community of Howell, New Jersey. A new family, a new life. The young Rinpoche and his grandmother, Queen Dechen, arrived in America in the summer of 1972. They were greeted at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York by his birth mother, Dewa Nimbo, who had since married. Accompanying Dewa Nimbo was her young son, Bart, who was unknowingly meeting his half-brother. As expected, the young boy was bewildered by the very strange country with its different language and strange-looking people. He wondered, where am I? What is this place? Rinpoche was taken to Deva Nimbo's house in Philadelphia, where he spent the night. He also met Deva's husband, Bhajan, who liked the young, cheerful boy. Rinpoche found out much later that Bhajan had wanted to adopt him, but Deva had adamantly disagreed. At that At the time, Rinpoche was unaware that he was about to be adopted by yet another family in Howell, New Jersey, who was home to a large Mongolian Kalmyk immigrant community. The next day, Rinpoche was introduced to his real parents, Dana and Boris Bugayev, of Mongolian Kalmyk descent, and his new sister, Lishma. They drove to pick him up in a big Ford, and Rinpoche was told to hug them because they were his parents. Queen Dechen gave him a big farewell hug, and before he knew it, he was on his way. Rinpoche and his new adoptive family then drove home, traveling from Philadelphia to Howell, where he would live for the next 9 years. It was all very surreal for the 6-year-old, but he was too young to really understand what was happening. Parents, page 59. Rinpoche's adoptive mother, Dana, was a Mongolian refugee from war-torn Belgrade who lived much of her early life as a refugee, traveling from camp to camp from Yugoslavia to Germany. Before meeting Boris in America, she had a daughter, Lishma, with a European man who was the love of her life, whom she would never again meet once she left Europe for America. Lishma, having traveled by ship across the Atlantic while she was only a baby, grew up in New Jersey. She was 18 years old at the time of Rinpoche's arrival and still lived at home. Rinpoche remembers her as being extraordinarily beautiful with fair skin and long dark hair, and for being very kind to him when he first arrived. Dana and Boris could not have children of their own, but desperately wanted a child, especially a son. When they were approached by Queen Dechen to adopt the young Rinpoche, they readily agreed, thinking that with the addition of this young boy, their family would be complete. Rinpoche's adoptive father's name, Boris, was a European adaptation of the Mongolian name Bercha. Bercha means conqueror of his enemy in Mongolian. He had originally come from Russia and suffered many traumatic ordeals during the war before he finally settled in America. As he had always wanted his own son to carry on the family name, Boris completely adored his newly adopted son. So much so that he even changed Rinpoche's name to his own, Bercha Bugayev Boris. Boris' life centered on the young boy to the exclusion of others, especially Dana, his wife. This and other cracks in the Bugayev's marriage began to weigh heavier and heavier on the young Rinpoche as time went on. The picture, the caption, he was always smiling, a happy person. He was always entertaining. He would do impressions, sing, act, tell a joke, or make funny faces. You never knew what he was going to do. He made you laugh. Lishma. Right. This is the page with the picture with the caption. The Bugayev's house, where Rinpoche lived for about 9 years. From the young age of 6, Rinpoche was tasked with keeping this large double-story house sparkling clean, with ominous consequences if his chores were not completed to his adoptive mother's expectations. So I will end here today, and I will continue tomorrow. So I'll move on, see if there's any questions. Right. There's no questions because everything is already there, shared with you. And as such, I will end the session today with a completion dedication in Tibetan. And thank you for sharing your time with me. Jang Jup Sen Cho Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Gi Shi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gone Gondo Pe Wa Shu, Toni To Wa Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Gi Shi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gone Gondo Pe Wa Shu. Daso Chini Sapa Ge Wadi, Dan Dan Dro Wa Guna Gampadan, Je Pa Je Sun No San Trapai, Tamping Nim Porin Du Sa Se Sho, Ke Wa Kuntu Yan Dalamada, Drame Choki Pala No Cho Ching, Sadam Langi Yo Te Razone, No Je Changi Ngo Pa Ngo Tu So, Ge Wadi Yo Do Da Lama Sang Yo Drione, Dro Wa Chikya Malupa, de sala go pashu joki kya ko sung kapa cho sun nam pa pe wala ke ki sama si wadang tung ki malu sang wa shu dadam song yu do san dan dre wa song yu la tene ge wa lo san tra pai tam pa yu reva yu shi ni modele sendele ni mi gu nyan dele shi ni sin ta tu dele pe kun chu sung yu jing yi lo kun chu sung yu ngo dro so kun chu sung yu tra si shu je sun da ma ku sen rap ting ching nam ka tri ni cho cho ke padang lo sam tem pe dro mi sap sung ni dro e mun sa ta tu ni yu shi gang we ro we ko we shin kam de pen dan de wa ma li go we ni chen ren sit wan ten sing get so yi sha pe shi de ba du den yu shi home tom pe ngot ro ma lo pa den ne da la sel du so ko dan den pa long chot nam ke pa so shik shuk den sel. Thank you.